Hey, what up? Welcome back to another episode of the Drug Cult Gang podcast. I'm your host, Tony G. And yeah, today on this episode, we're basically going to talk about three things. Venezuela, Iran, and my Instagram getting banned, and why that's been pretty fucking devastating to me recently, and all that. I'm gonna get into all that. To skip all the complaining about my Instagram being banned, skip to 2152. 2152. Um, I mean, each one of these three things, I mean, it's only three things. Sometimes on these episodes we dive into like 50 different things. I actually kind of like that we do that. And then like some episodes it'll be like more like specific, and we're gonna do more of those too, where it'll be like a whole episode where it's like very researched and a lot of it is just written, and it would be like more on specific stuff. Like we did one on Iran and the Axis of Resistance. We did like the in the Axis of Resistance series. We did one on the Houthis. We did one on Hezbollah. But yeah, anyway, most episodes it would be like we cover like 50 things. Today we're the main things we're gonna be covering are those three things: Venezuela, Iran, and my Instagram getting banned. Each one of these things could deserve its whole episode about Venezuela. Um, a whole episode, I could do a whole episode just on Iran and the protests happening. Um, and I could do a whole episode about censorship and about my Instagram getting banned and like just how horrible it's been. Um, I think first we're gonna start off with the Instagram, and then we're gonna get right into like the Venezuela, and then last we're gonna do talk about Iran protests. So yeah, my Instagram was banned. For you guys that haven't seen me on Instagram lately, it's been devastating. Um, I put in a lot of work. Uh, it's fucking horrible. I put in a lot of work building that account. Um, so getting all the followers on that account, and then um also just like the posts, like just like the archive posts, for example, let alone the DCG news post, the archive post, for example. When I'd like it'd be like a picture of something, and then like I would do a lot of research on it. So it'd be like a picture and then like a little essay in the caption, more article or whatever, with like the what the picture is, the date of it, and then usually like an essay. I've some of my great ones I did was on like that Hu Ming painting of the PLA soldier. I've did one on Gaddafi's um women security, the revolutionary nuns. I've done one on Syrian girls. I've done one on the PFLP girls. I've done a bunch of different great archive posts with like a lot of with like essays written. Um, I wish I obviously copied those and put them on Substack or anywhere else. But I didn't. That was very stupid of me. So all those were gone. Um, so yeah, basically the last episode, if you guys are keep track of the last episode, everything was going pretty great. Um, we just hit 6,000 followers on Instagram, which is really good because I've only really been that Instagram has only really been I've only had that Instagram for like a year. So like going really hard this last like or like maybe a year and a half, and to get 6,000 followers, it was really it was great. Um I had an Instagram before this, as some of you guys know, and that one got banned too, and that was horrible. It got like banned at like 4,000 something. I had it for years. And then this new Instagram, I got up to 6,000 followers in just like 2 years. Yeah, maybe like a little less than 2 years. So like anywhere between a year and a half and 2 years. Yeah, so 6,000 followers in that time was really good achievement for me. Um, Also, the DCG News posts, where I did my reporting, I would, put in the effort making, making a DCG News graphic that looked well, whether if it was on like China or, basically all the stuff I report on, Venezuela, China, whatever. And I would do like, as you guys know, as you follow my Instagram, that my Instagram that I used to have, I'd have the news graphic, and then I'd have like the article in the caption. I think people really underestimate it because it's just on Instagram. Like when people just hear the word Instagram, like oh, I've tried explaining this to people, like how my Instagram gotten banned, and like a lot of people, they don't understand. They're just like, "You're crying about your Instagram being banned? Really? It's that bad?" Because they don't really understand like how media works and how like media is my career. My career is heavily involved in media, and my main platform happens to be Instagram. Some people's main platform, which is like the platform they spend the most time on, and that they have the most followers on, because most people, including me, you have like your media career or whatever, and then you'll have like an X account, an Instagram account, YouTube. You have all these different platforms, and you'll try to like have all of them and put your stuff on all of them. But each person, you know, uh, has like their main platform. A lot of people it's X, a lot of people their main platform is Instagram, and it's like what they have the most followers on, what they spend the most time building. And yeah, some people's main platform is Twitch, some people's main platform is Kick, some people's main platform is YouTube, some people's main platform is Instagram, some people's main platform is X. My main platform happened to be Instagram, and that sucks because I think they probably have the biggest problem with banning people. I don't know why. Like Instagram just always, I was just always really good at Instagram. I just liked the configuration of it. I was just really good at it. Each app is different in how it works and how you can build your followers and everything. And yeah, I was just really good at Instagram. I always heard that like, good-looking people are good at Instagram and ugly, like Twitter is for like Instagram, but for ugly people. That was funny. Anyway, but I don't know. Maybe that I don't know why. I'm just being funny, but I don't know why Instagram. I don't know why I always did the best on Instagram because making an Instagram, I made it first Instagram like 5 years ago. It was actually a friend of mine told me to do it. I was trying to like build on YouTube and X, and I spent a long time trying to build it. Nothing really popped off. They finally convinced me to try Instagram, and man, for some reason I just did really well on it because I was really good at like connecting with people on there more and having people shout me out and stuff. And I just I was able to just build a bigger following on X. My posts and all the stuff I did was just more successful on Instagram. Anyway, yeah, it got banned. Something just completely ridiculous like child exploitation or like labor exploitation, like human trafficking or something like that. Something that's just completely ridiculous. And as you guys see, that follow my Instagram. Obviously, I don't post anything like that, but yeah, it was just they're very vague when they give a statement. It was like, "Oh, you're banned," and it just gave me this very vague statement. I don't even remember exactly what it was. It was something like that, like human trafficking or some shit. Um, yeah, obviously, I have no idea why I would get banned for that. It would make total sense more if they were like, hit me with some bullshit like, oh, misinformation or like supporting terrorist groups or something like that. That would make more sense, right? But what they banned me for, yeah, it completely doesn't make any sense. I have no idea why. And yeah, so basically, if you get permanently banned, there's nothing you can do. I've tried a bunch of different things. I've had a friend account pay for, or I gave them money so they can buy Meta Verified. Because then that is the only way to get into personal contact with someone at Instagram. I've did that. I've personally talked to people at Instagram, and yeah, they're just like, "Yeah, you're fucked. Sorry, didn't really help much." But yeah, I've tried a lot of different things. Hopefully, I might be able to still get it back. Maybe someone watching this will know, or some of you guys can help me, or look into it more, or try to help me maybe get it back. That'd be awesome. Talk about like, man, I've been so depressed ever since this happened. Um, but man, that'd be awesome if I was able to get it back. That'd make me so happy. But I don't know if I'll get it back. It looks like I'm not. Because once it says I'm permanently banned, I can't even make a new Instagram. Because if I was, even if I got banned, even if I was able to make a new Instagram, this is still gonna be horrible. I had 6,000 of you guys on there. It's hard to build all that up again. It's hard to start from scratch. Um, so even if I was able to make a new Instagram account, it'd still be horrible. But guess what? I can't even make a new Instagram account. They IP banned me. So I would have to buy a whole new phone and go to a whole new Wi-Fi network to make a new account. And then even then, they do this thing where like you have to like have a like verify with a phone number and then verify with like a selfie verification. So they've been really cracking down, especially in like 2026, this new year. And it's funny because I got banned right at this new year, and I've been reading that like yeah, 2026 Instagram is like really cracking down or whatever on like especially people making new accounts and shit and banning people. But yeah, as you guys seen on the last episode, it was like right before New Year's. We were like, hell yeah, I think it was on New Year's Eve, I believe. And we were me and Jay, we were like, yeah, man, uh, we did a review of everything we did this last year, and we're like, yeah, it was cool, but we're gonna go even harder this year. It's gonna be awesome, 2026, here we go. I think like the fourth or fifth, on the fourth or fifth of this year in January, just a few days after New Year. I'm doing my reporting. The Maduro just got captured. I was keeping up with the news, doing my reporting, and when stuff like that happens, it's like it's you get a lot of followers, so it's really good for people like me that are doing my reporting to really like stay on top of it because that's when like you get a spree of followers because people are more interested. And yeah, man, uh, I think like maybe the third day or like second day into Maduro getting captured, or like yeah, second day before I can like while I'm doing my reporting, boom, say hey, would have been just Instagram, it's just gone. All that hard work, all of my posts, um, all of my connections. So like all my like the way I would get guests is a lot of my guests I would actually have come on the podcast like Danny Haifong. I was about to have Nico House on. A lot of these people, they actually followed my Instagram account because they see that it's good shit and they can just scroll through. You can see I do great reporting, etc. So I can't even have, I was gonna have Nico House on. I can't even have him on because I have no way of contacting him now. The way I was gonna be able to contact him was because he was following the Instagram account. So I can't even name all the ways this fucks me up. I lost all my contacts. I lost all my followers. Really hurts is too with all that work that I did on there that's not saved. I just thought I'd have my Instagram on there. Just all my work is gone. All my reporting is gone. I had a feeling I was gonna get banned, funnily enough, because I was getting these like weird like 1 day suspensions or whatever. So what I did was I hurry up and like got like 10 of my DCG news articles and put them on my Substack. So if you guys go to my Substack, you can still see some of them are on there. But yeah, I only have like I think less than 10 followers on Substack. I always told you guys too. I was always saying, "Hey guys, you know, uh, please just take a second out of your day. Like, dude, Instagram is really always banning people. I can get banned any second, so please take a second out of your day to go follow me on other platforms." I was constantly say this, guys. Please go follow me on other platforms. Go follow me on other platforms because any day I can just wake up one day and my Instagram is gone. All that hard work building and building all my followers with you guys and building all you guys. Um, and yeah, like just a lot of people just didn't do it. I mean, I would put it on my story. I'd get like hundreds of views on my story, and maybe like five people would go and follow me other places. People just, I don't know, they just, they just didn't take it serious. I was like, dude, one day I'm going to get banned. Like, I just feel it. So, like, please go follow me other places. And like, I'll be like, hey, follow me on X. And like, I think I have like 300 some followers, like almost 400 followers on X. Like, yeah, man, people should really listen to me. And I said, man, if you guys want to stay in contact with me, just in case my shit gets banned, go follow me on X, go follow me on YouTube. But yeah, you guys who are watching this, you guys are probably the ones who actually did do that because I won't have any weight. When I would make an episode, I would go to my Instagram and then post it on there with all my because that's where all my followers are and all my people are. And I'll say, "Hey, new episode out." So then that would get people to they're scrolling, they're on Instagram. They would see that an episode is out on Instagram. That's how they were notified that there's an episode. And then they would go from Instagram to YouTube or whatever podcast platform to then watch my episode. Like when I finish this episode right now, I'm just gonna upload it I don't really have anywhere to go and say, hey, watch it. I'm gonna post it on X. I'm gonna post it on Substack, and but those only have like a few followers on them. All my followers were on Instagram. You know what I mean? The few of you who did go and subscribe to my YouTube, hopefully you get notified about this episode. But yeah, I bet like I don't even maybe probably like less than 1% of my usual audience is going to be able to see this because how I got most people to watch my episodes was through Instagram. Now I don't have an Instagram. Like I said, they IP banned me, so I can't even make a new Instagram. It is possible I have to do a lot of shit like pay for a whole new phone, go to a whole new Wi-Fi network, etc. I've tried doing stuff with VPNs, but if you have a VPN, they actually can detect that you have a VPN unless you like pay for a really good one. And you guys know I'm broke, I'm working class, like I'm struggling to survive already. It sucks, man. I'm already struggling to survive. And then this happens. And it's just fucking heartbreaking, man. It makes me sick to my stomach actually just to think about it. And I'm not trying to talk shit either, but a close friend of mine who would work with me on this also was kind of bailed on me after the Instagram. So like while I'm at my lowest, when I really need people to help, that's whenever a friend of mine who would help me with this bailed, and he was like, uh, yeah, you kind of just like dropped out of the project, um, which is fine because I can find other people to help me. But I didn't really put now, but I didn't really put in effort to try to find someone else to help build this because I thought I had my boy, but my brother, and not to talk shit, he's helped me a lot. He's done a lot for me, and I appreciate everything he's done. And I guess he's just moving on to other stuff. Um, but the thing about that is that he wants to do this kind of stuff, but he's definitely like I already have a great foundation, so it's kind of stupid to not want to build on this foundation. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Maybe he doesn't really want to do this. Also, people are just fucking lazy, man. They don't want to put in the effort to build it. It's like because I'm not already huge people like don't want to put in the work because I'm not already, Hassan Piker level fame or whatever. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm resilient. I've already had shit happening before. I've had Instagram account be banned before with all my shit gone. So I'm gonna keep going. Obviously, I'm doing this episode. I was gonna do an episode like days ago. We were gonna do an episode like fucking like on the 5th or 6th, not to like the day after my account got banned, but since my account got banned, I was like so depressed. I like couldn't even get myself to record. I'm finally now getting over it. Damn, it's the 21st right now. So yeah, I was gonna do an episode like weeks ago. Man, yeah, it sucks. My Instagram's on, but we're gonna move on. We're gonna get what you guys came here for and what my job is, what I usually do on these episodes, not just sit here and complain. But yeah, we're gonna keep on. We're gonna move on though. We're gonna keep doing this shit. We're gonna keep fighting. I'm not gonna let this censorship shit get to me. But yeah, I think that's what it is. It's like they don't like my reporting, so they censored me. And I probably also have a lot of people reporting my account because whether they're haters or they don't agree with what I'm saying, etc. And if you get a lot of reporting, I think they also just out the AI just bans you. Like I never even got it probably never even got manually reviewed by a person because if a person was able to review my account, they would see, oh, he isn't breaking any laws, he isn't breaking any guidelines. Okay, so let's give him his count back. No, they just use this AI, this shitty AI that makes so many mistakes, and my shit got banned. Or maybe they also just wanted to censor me. They're like, yeah, he posts a shit that is like, anti, the shit that I post. Obviously, people that own Instagram are millionaires, billionaires. I obviously fight against that and the elite, so they probably just see my stuff and was like, yeah, no, fuck this guy, ban him. Anyway, yeah, so Maduro, let's just move on. I mean, is there anything else to say about my IG getting banned? Oh yeah, and then also someone close to me, bailing at this low time when I really needed him, um, bailed. But yeah, not everybody got that dog in them, man. Not everybody has that fight in them. They either want it served to them, like people aren't willing to build and stick together and build. I mean, he did for a while and for a little bit, but he just didn't have enough to actually get across the finish line of like real success. Um, but we are pretty successful. I don't have a lot of patrons, but I have people that literally pay to listen to what I have to say. I look at that as success. I come from such a working class family. None of my family has went to college. Like everybody else that does this shit, they are educated, upper middle class or elite. They've been to college, their family went to college, they grew up around politics and being smart. I had to teach myself all this shit. I had to teach myself how to do journalism, how to read and keep up with things. I'm 100% self-taught. I completely built this shit from the ground up, from nothing, no help. Um, but yeah, we thank him. I'm not gonna say any names or what his name is, but yeah, I thank him for what he has done because I'm just such so fucking cool, man. Some people would be like really upset and like, fuck him. He left me at such a, or he left the project at such a low point. You know what I mean? Whenever I invited him to do this with me, and especially because he wanted to do it with me, and he's gotten a lot of perks out of it. I brought him. When I've gotten invited to events, I brought him to come with me and had all his shit paid for. He's had a lot of perks from doing this with me. But you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna say, thanks for what you have done. I appreciate it. But yeah, it's not gonna stop me. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep on going. But anyway, so I'm not gonna be, like sore or sour about it, you know what I mean? Or whatever. Um, but yeah, we're just keep moving on. Um, oh, sorry. Yeah, so okay, the IG is banned. I mean, IG bans, cross that off. We now, I've already talked way too much about that. We're gonna move on. Um, so Maduro and now the Iran protests. But sorry, another thing we're gonna talk about is that's like one of the main things I can't believe I forgot. I had a brain fart for a second. Is the movie uh One Battle After Another. This episode I want it to be kind of like a review of One Battle After Another, but also like talking about having some sections of the episode where I talk about Maduro and the Iran protests. Um uh so um let's get the Maduro and Iran stuff out of the way. So yeah, Maduro got captured. Uh or the like at the one of the first things this year. So yeah, let's talk about that. So yeah, so as you guys reported, as some of you guys are following my reporting on Instagram before it got banned, basically the US came in, started bombing Caracas and Venezuela. Some people actually died from this, even civilians. They came and they fucking kidnapped Maduro. This is obviously a very disgusting imperialist piece of shit thing the West has done. But how can we be surprised? The West is an imperialist, disgusting piece of shit nation, and like the Romans did, they were a very imperialist and expansionist. The Romans, they would do a triumph. It's whenever a a general would come back from a successful or a general or an emperor, they would go and do some war in the north or whatever, or some far away. And then they would capture the king or whoever was the king of the owner that they took over, and they would do a triumph, which is like a huge parade. They would bring all the riches and the king back to Rome, and then they would do a parade down the street and humiliate the king. The king would be in handcuffs, walking down the parade, and all the people are cheering and shit. That's basically what America did. They did like a triumph. They went, did an imperialist expansion in Venezuela, captured their king, their president, brought him back in handcuffs and perp walked him. You know what I mean? Like in front of people, so people could take pictures and shit. Literally did like a Roman triumph. Um, this is really stupid. This is where my geopolitical analysis comes in as a geopolitical analyst. I think this is actually a really stupid move from America because not only did they capture Maduro, they killed innocent people in their bombings, and they bombed Hugo Chavez's dead body. Hugo Chavez has like had like this. They had this building where they had his body in it. You know, like how like Lenin's mausoleum. They had like a Hugo Chavez mausoleum, and it was like a Chavista kind of mausoleum, and had Hugo Chavez's body in it, and they fucking blew it up. So that really pissed people off too, and it should fucking piss people off. And yeah, so like a lot of Venezuelans are really pissed off about that. I mean, just really fucking dirty, nasty people, man. They did not have to blow up Hugo Chavez's body. So, but yeah, by doing this, what America is doing is it now is making it impossible for them to now have any kind of diplomacy and trying to talk with the Venezuelans. Because now what it's going to do is the Venezuelans are now like they're just going to fight your ass. There's no trying to talk. There's no like, oh, maybe we'll talk to them. No, they're going to collectivize together and make a stronger enemy than it was before. Also, you see people like Cuba and all these other Latin American countries are now seeing this and saying, holy shit, we need to come together or we're going to be next. So what they by doing that, what America just did with kidnapping Maduro, and also they kidnapped Maduro and his wife. I just want to talk about for a second how much of a bad bitch and awesome woman Maduro's wife is. She stuck with him the whole time, man. Um, the whole time they're walking and she's walking together with them and Maduro is staying strong, making jokes with his wife, trying to make her feel comfortable and not trying to make her scared. Maduro is a gangster motherfucker, man. And his wife is fucking gangster too because supposedly she chose to go with him. She didn't have to go with him. She chose to go with him, and that's the kind of woman that I would want in my life. You know what I mean? Talk about a woman who's gonna stick with you even at your lowest points and man, that is a good woman. That is a good woman right there. And man, in America, it's so hard to find women like this. That's what I always say. Like if I'm gonna have a wife, she needs to be like not from America, because America is so like materialist and disgusting, and like they just hate men. They don't want to have kids. They're anti-family. They just are like, I hate men. I want to get tattoos and have sex with thousands of guys or whatever. Instead of because if you marry and you have a kid, that makes you strong. Families that stick together, because then also when having a lot of sex with prior partners, it increases your rates of divorce. And when you have a kid and then you have divorces, what that does is that breaks up a family and makes people weaker. I know this, for example, because I come from from a home where my mother and father never even married, but they ended up breaking up. And I can tell you firsthand it just makes people have problems. They're weaker. If you want a strong people marry and stick together. Um, and but that's the thing. They push this feminism, like anti-men, anti-family shit, because they want to keep us weak. They want to keep us weak. They want the divorce rate to be high. They want women to be like, oh, I need my man to be a millionaire. If he's not, fuck them. Fuck all men. I'm gonna do my whole thing. You know what I mean? They push that bullshit onto women. They want you to do that because they want you to be weak. Because if the working class is strong and families stick together, it creates stronger people that could then be stronger and go against the elites. But the elites push that shit in our culture to keep us weak. Maduro's wife is an example of a strong woman that loves and stays with her husband. Maduro was a strong man and making his wife being strong in the face of these fucked up capitalist imperialist American pigs that kidnapped him, illegally kidnapped him, the head of a nation. And, he's like trying to make her feel comfortable. Man, it was just an amazing display of courage and bravery and strength. And man, I love that his wife is strong. I really think that shows you that like Venezuelans, they're very strong, resilient people. Americans are so fucking cucked, dude. It's horrible, dude. We're fucking horrible. We're all about like hoeing around and getting divorces and hating each other. Fucking women hate men because of feminism, and then this causes, all this feminist stuff, and then men hate women. No, we're supposed to love each other. Men and women are supposed to love each other and work together. The capitalist elite, they want to push this feminist stuff and this anti-woman stuff onto, like Vicky earlier. like the Andrew Tate and all that hating women stuff. And then they also at the same time push this feminist shit and to get women to hate men because they want us to hate each other because if we come together and love each other, we can be strong. Like Che Guevara said, every revolutionary has to come from love. Because love keeps us together, keeps us strong. And if we're strong, then we can have a revolution and overtake the elites. But if they keep us weak, that will never happen. They know this. They are smart. They have a lot of money to study this shit. They read all about it. They do psychological and sociological tests. They literally know that's why they push this shit onto the population. Anyway, that's what happened to Maduro. The vice president, so what I think is her name is like Cicely Rodriguez. Let me look this up for a second. One thing I don't like with the thing was like Maduro's wife, like because I didn't really because I seen him with him a lot, and also seeing them. The only thing about optics, I'm very much an optics person. I'm sorry to say, but and also it's like her blonde hair. I just also think with these Iranians, which we're going to get to later, they want to be white so bad. The Iranians in Iran for decades, it especially became a thing with the monarchy in the 70s and shit when they try to westernize, and it's unfortunately still a real bad problem today, is self-hate. These are brown, you guys are brown people, okay? You are not white. I'm so sorry to tell you, you are not white. And Iranians, they want to be white so bad. It's actually a known statistic that Iran has the biggest rates of bleach in hair dye. They buy the most hair dye out of any people in the world because they want to dye their hair. They hate their brown skin and their black hair. God-given black hair, which I think is most beautiful is black hair. But anyway, I love everybody, whatever. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, um, and also, so they have the biggest rates of purchasing blonde hair dye, and they have the biggest rates of getting nose jobs and plastic surgery because they're granted these beautiful Persian strong noses that show their ancestors, and it's gorgeous and they fucking mutilate themselves under a knife and getting surgery to have these little ugly fucking little these ugly fucking ski slope little tiny noses that don't look right on their face. It's like the tiny little weird nose when the rest of their face is like this doesn't match and it looks disgusting. And they paid all this money just to look white. It's like their little blonde hair and their tiny little ski slope nose that looks like shit. It's fucking disgusting. Quit hating yourself and accept who you are. Okay? Quit trying to be white. Um, so I'm like someone that's really like that. I'm not saying Maduro's wife is like that. Maybe she just likes blonde hair and she wants to have blonde hair. I just wish she did have blonde hair. Like I love when people accept their natural color of their hair. I'm pretty sure she's not a natural blonde. Um, anyway, one time I seen this post where like this Mexican girl made like a post where she was like, she was like, Ella, she was like, laugh my ass off, man. There's no natural blondes in Mexico. I think that's like all she said. Oh my fucking God. The comments was just filled of Mexicans screeching into the void like, shut up. I have so many people in Mexico are blonde. I have cousins who are blonde and I'm blonde. And then you click on their fucking profile and you can clearly see their brown eyebrows and like the fucking like very new parts of their hair are clearly brown and black. Like their hair is clearly dyed. And it's like, she didn't mean that you dumbasses are incapable of dyeing your hair to look white. No, she's saying that 99% of Mexicans do not have naturally blonde hair. But like they're so upset to try to say that they're not white or that they are indigenous to the land of Mexico and naturally have black hair, which is beautiful and amazing. Beautiful Mexican girls that have the long black hair, absolutely gorgeous, whether if it's curly or straight because a lot of indigenous people in Mexico have straight hair. Even I think some indigenous people even have curly hair. Anyway, um, and yeah, people were like these people are screeching the void anyway. But yeah, yeah, his wife has blonde hair. Here, let's look it up for a second. But yeah, just to show you guys too, like, man, Maduro, he was being so boss and brave during this. Um, oh shit. Let's see if we can get it. Okay, yeah, this is him. He's like putting the thumbs up because what he wants is people to not worry. To be like, look, guys, I'm good. Even though they're probably fucking giving him a horrible time. He's probably sleeping on those little metal fucked up beds that they have prisoners sleep on. Um, yeah, you can see this picture of them in the courtroom. That's his wife with the blonde hair. I just don't like that optics, man. I love whenever it's like we are proud fucking Latin American people because I'm part Mexican. We're proud to have our natural black hair. You know what I mean? I think this is his wife right here. Yeah, this blonde hair, man. I just don't like that shit, man. I don't know. Maybe she is. Um, uh, I'm being a little pedantic and like a little like kind of fucked up, but I'm not only, I say we do geopolitics, history, and culture. I'm also a cultural commentator, so it's like you might not think, oh, why is he so worried about her blonde hair? Like, leave her alone. It's like, no, I was just explaining how awesome and amazing she is earlier, so don't get me wrong. But I also just am a motherfucker, like I can't hold my tongue. I have very strong cultural critiques as well. Um, is Maduro's wife, I don't know if this is even gonna come up, naturally blonde. Satila Flores based on available media. Celia Flores' wife, Nicolas Maduro, is not naturally blonde. She has consistently appeared with dark brown hair throughout her political career, although she has appeared with blonde colored hair in more recent images, including her appearance following her reported arrest. Okay, so I was gonna be like, damn, I would have feel really stupid if this whole time I'm talking shit she's actually naturally blonde, but she's not. And anyway, I'm not talking shit about people who have blonde hair. Do that if you really want to. Like I always say, I'm not an I never care about individuals. I never critique individuals. I critique the system, but of course the micro is the macro. So I will use individuals as examples as a wider thing, especially when you are the first lady of a country, you represent that country. You represent your people. So be strong and fucking be proud of your natural black hair. You know what I mean? Like I'm really into that. Like I hate when people dye their hair. I hate when people get nose jobs to look white. Let's be proud. And, I have a big nose and I'm fucking proud of it. I love to have my indigenous look. Like I look like a fucking Aztec king. You know what I mean? Fucking, like Aztecs had big noses, and fucking, Sicilian, fucking, I could look like a Sicilian, Italian, like Roman emperor, with my nose. And I'm fucking proud of that. It's strength. It's beautiful. You know what I mean? And Sicilians have, I have Sicilian ancestry. They have a lot of Arabic roots. I'm like fucking an Arabic fucking warlord. Nigga, I don't give a fuck. I'm strong. I fucking love my natural look. I'm proud of it. I'm not gonna go get some little nose job to try to look white. Fuck that shit. And this really has to do when we talk about one battle after another. Also, let's get into Iran, and then the rest of the episode will be our review of one battle after another. Stop sharing. Okay, we're back to full screen here. Okay, Iran. Actually, we're gonna share again. Sorry. And we're gonna go on X and talk about Iran. So, I'll get a new follower. Okay. Um, Max Lumenthal has been doing some great reporting with Iran recently, so we're gonna go to his page and cover some stuff. Uh, Lazard CEO and former Obama Treasury Secretary Peter Orszag says he has indirect information that the U.S. will bomb Iran in the coming days. Ozark's wife is CNN host Bianca Goldraghi I don't know how to pronounce that, Godrigag, who recently published a children's book on anti-Semitism. Okay. Okay, so just to give some overview, Iran, um, they are the biggest fighters against Israel. And so, because of that, Israel and America wants to take down Iran, like we talked about in our when you listen to our episode, our Iran episode of our Axis of Resistance installment on Iran. And in that episode, you will see how we talk about how Iran funds uh all here's with what we have to get straight. Israel is not just going to cease to exist or quit doing their atrocious genocide of Palestinians because of the good of their heart or because we protest them and we ask them very nicely over and over again or we beg them. No, they're only going to do it if they're made to quit doing that. And unfortunately, the only way to do this is physical, physically make them. And the only really one of the only people involved with physically making them stop is Iran because they fund Hamas, they fund Hezbollah, they fund the Houthis. They're one of the main people giving support in the axis of resistance. That's why we did that episode. And we explained that in that episode. So, of course, because of this, that puts a huge target on the back of Iran and America. So they want Iran gone. Um, so that is why what they're doing is they are uh the is Israel and America is what they're doing is they are infiltrating these protests. Okay, so what? So the Iran's protests, just to give you guys some information here. Iran's protests started off with because it's actually a really long story. So Iran has they have a lot of gas, like with cars, so like petroleum, gasoline for cars and stuff, and like a lot of natural resources. And because they care about the people, they have it really cheap. So it's like, but the thing is it's like ridiculously cheap. Okay, and then people got really used to that. So then, but what this do is like fucking up their economy. It's really complicated economically, but we're kind of skip over a lot of that. So what they do is start raising the price on gas and stuff like that. And then also a lot of Iranians are struggling financially because of the sanctions America is putting on Iran. So because of this, people were coming out in the streets and a lot of them were like upper middle class people who have more to lose. And also because a lot of them also are buying stuff in bulk. So they're actually one of the people losing the most, which is upper middle class people. And they're going out in the streets to protest and say, hey, we they are upset about the prices of things and the economy, right? So it was about like an economic protest. So, and then that was fine. And then the Iranians actually were listening to them and were like, okay, we totally get you guys. And also Iran has a long history of protests ever since Cyrus the Great, which we talked about that in the last episode. Oh, I mean, we talk about this in the Iran episode. So, they have a long history of protests, etc. So the Iranians are like, whatever, that's great. We're gonna listen to you guys, and and we're gonna try to make some changes and accommodate you guys. But then the Israelis took advantage of this, infiltrated these protests, and turned them violent, so that the government had to step in and say, okay, now that you're being violent and killing innocent children, killing people and killing police officers, now we have to come in and actually try to stop these protests and put them down. And then once they do that, now we can say, oh, look at how repressive Iran is. Look, they're stopping the protests. Yeah, they're stopping because you guys are fucking violent. There are plenty of videos of, I think I'm going to show you a little bit of later, where these protesters are like shooting into crowds of people with AKs, shooting police officers. There's this one video where protesters throw a Molotov cocktail into a house, and that house had children inside of it, like 5-year-old children inside of it. These are piece of shit protesters, and guess what? They're being paid by Israel. So that's why Iran cut the internet access in the nation because Israel was using the internet to infiltrate these protests. They would contact these people over the internet and wire them money and send them Bitcoin and send them untraceable Bitcoin and money to go out and burn mosques. They've been burning mosques. They've been throwing Molotov cocktails at children, just totally doing fucked up shit. So obviously Iran had to come in and stop the internet access. And then when they stopped the internet access, guess what? Oh, Western media doesn't starts going, oh, look at Iran. They're so repressive. They have an internet blackout. They're stopping the people from having internet. This is so horrible. Meanwhile, Israel was literally dropping bombs on children. It's insane. It's absolutely hilarious. Um, and also all these people that all these protesters that want to overthrow the Iranian government, the Islamic government. These are people who, so the Islamic Revolution happened in like I think 1979, and before the Islamic Revolution, they had a monarchist government, and like fucking they only like 10% of the population could read. 90% of the population was like living in like below poverty levels. It was absolutely horrible. A very sliver of just the top upper class people who were the supported the monarchists and the monarchist family were people who had any semblance of doing well. Actually, they were doing really well, and then the rest of the population lived like shit. So it was actually a lot of effort. They had a lot of like reasons to overthrow this fucked up monarchist government. This monarchist government was also funded by the West and was actually installed by the West. Because before the monarchist government, there was actually Mossadegh, who was a socialist president. Of course, I talk all about this. You should actually really probably watch the Iran episode before this. In the 50s, Iranians elected, because back then, all over the Middle East and everywhere, there was a lot of like Marxists and communists, whether it's like Afghanistan and Iran. And so the Iranians actually elected, democratically elected a socialist president, Mossadegh, right? Um, and then he started using the resources to help the people of the country. They started using their own resources to help their own people. That is a big no-no for America. How fucking dare they, right? Same thing like the Maduro is doing. That's why they had to that's why they have to try to overthrow Maduro. So Mossadegh using his own resources for his own people. How dare they? America overthrew Mossadegh and installed the Shah. This Shah was super fucked up, like I was just saying, just completely exploiting the people and only favoring the very rich. So then people were it was so clear how fucked up it was that the Islamic Revolution happened, and the revolution that overthrew the monarchy, overthrew the Shah, was socialist, communist, Islamic people. They all came together and overthrew it. Obviously would prefer Mossadegh, you know what I mean? But now that we have the Islamic government, we obviously prefer them more than the fucking monarchists or the Israelis. So now all these people that are anti the Islamic government, they want to overthrow the Islamic government, and a lot of them want to install the Shah's son, who is still alive, like Reza Pahlavi. And all these people, they are, when you see these Iranian protests, they all have Israeli flags because all these people that want to overthrow Iran right now that are protesting in Iran, they're pro-Israel. Flags of the genocidal Israeli regime are almost as prominent at daily London rallies for freedom in Iran as the monarchist flag. Is it any wonder the world fails to find inspiration in this pro-war movement? So yeah, another spasm of violence at public gathering of Iranian monarchist psychos. So yeah, these Iranian monarchists, they're violent pieces of shit. These are the forces that Israel and its Washington puppets are putting forward to bring freedom and democracy in Iran. Also, it's like they want to they're like fighting to have OnlyFans in Iran. They're like, we want OnlyFans in Iran. We want to be able to walk around half naked. It's fucking disgusting. Um, the real underlying purpose of ICE. Okay, this is about ICE. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, so in Syria right now, we talked about earlier how Rojava. Oh yeah, this is great. So I've been just in our episode with Mocha 2 episodes ago. Remember how I was talking about how anarchists are always taking L's? Rojava is fucking stupid because they're anarchists and they were fighting against Assad. Well, guess what? Now you get what you get. You wanted to overthrow Assad so bad, you dumbasses, and what came after Assad is the ISIS motherfuckers who are who are Islamic extremists, and they fucking are like there's videos of them slapping around and beating these little YPJ anarchist Rojava fighting girls. They're dumbasses. You should have kept Assad because now look where you're at. Now you're being fucking enslaved. You're gonna be like a sex slave of these Islamic extremists. Um because like yeah, a lot of these Iranian monarchists like or they're always talking about like how bad Islam is and treating women. Oh, really? You want to talk about no, actually Iran is actually they actually treat women great. These are the people who treat women like shit. These real Islamic extremists in Syria under Al-Jilani. So yeah, this is Al-Jilani, one of the Al-Jilani's fighters. He he scalped a female Kurdish fighter. So yeah, these Kurdish Rojava fighters that are like all women, like brigades or whatever, they were anti-Assad. So I was always against them because look, I was like, you guys are stupid. Once Assad falls, ISIS is gonna come in and they're gonna really treat you like shit. You've been actually the only reason why you've been able to do your little like fake soldier things with your guns as girls or whatever was because of Assad. Now you're just gonna get trampled and really fucked up. Oh, because these ISIS fighters are no fucking joke. They're not gonna fucking play around with you like Assad people did. And Assad, I'm pretty so yeah, it's fucking stupid, man. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. I was like, yeah, you're gonna get put in a hijab. You're probably gonna be a sex slave for these ISIS fighters. You should have actually fought to keep Assad in power because now look where you're at. Um. A lot of a lot of like ISIS detainees are being broken out because of this Al Qaeda regime in Syria. Um, um, let's see here. So, yeah. And you know what? All right, now we have a lot to get to. So yeah, we covered Venezuela, we covered Iran. Now let's get to one battle after another. We have a lot to say about this, so let's get right into it. Um, so one battle after another. Because I think I'm gonna name this episode one libtard color revolution after another. One libtard color revolution after another, like like they're trying to do the color revolution in Venezuela. They're trying to do a color revolution uh and they're trying to do a color revolution in Venezuela. They're trying to do a color revolution in Iran. They did one in Syria when they overthrew Assad. So yeah, one libtard color revolution after another. Anyway, movie starts with some adventurous bullshit at an immigration facility. So basically, what the movie is about, for you that don't know, basically, I'm gonna give like a little review of the movie. Then we're gonna talk about the like scenes of the movie and what I absolutely hated about it. It was libtard, white male fantasy, disgusting trash. It was absolutely disgusting trash. If the goal of the movie, because what the movie it's about revolutionaries, like leftist revolutionaries or whatever, and Leonardo DiCaprio is the main character. He plays this like he's like a pro-immigration revolutionary. Um, if the movie's main goal is to make fun of revolutionaries, which I kind of actually think that was the goal, then I think, they actually did a pretty good job. It was actually some of the parts were actually pretty funny. It's directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. I was actually used to be a big fan of his movies. Like uh, Magnolia, There Will Be Blood. I love those movies. Some of my There Will Be Blood is one of my favorite movies. So Paul Thomas Anderson is actually an amazing director. So yeah, I actually think he did a pretty good job with the movie, with the things like directing and stuff like that, some like the technical details of movie making. But the story of the movie is absolutely disgusting. The character is disgusting. And I'm going to get into it. So basically, it's about revolutionaries. If the goal of if PTA's Paul Thomas Anderson, if PTA's goal of the movie was to make fun of revolutionaries, I actually think he did a pretty good job. But here's the thing. I don't like making fun of revolutionaries. I wouldn't want to make like if I'm going to make a movie making fun of something, I would like the movie Eddington, which they made fun of like left, right, like libtard, liberal politics and like stupid conservatives and like making fun of them. That's funny. I don't like making fun of act like revolutionaries. So if his goal is to make fun of revolutionaries, I don't like that. I don't like making fun of revolutionaries. So fuck him and fuck this film. If his goal was to like, no, I'm actually like on the side of Leonardo DiCaprio, I'm on the side of the revolutionaries, then this was disgusting white fantasy slop of like because like okay, I'm just get into it. So basically Leonardo DiCaprio has like this black girlfriend and she's like a white cum dumpster like pick me girl as Brianna Joy Gray, who is black. She's a black woman. She said how she's like a pick me, like begging for white dick. She's like, "Oh, you like black girls?" And she's like obsessed with white guys. It's fucking disgusting. And it's total like a white incel fantasy. Funnily enough, I have a friend who's I had a friend who never really got like a kind of a lot of girls, right? Because I think it's like this movie is definitely like incel white boy fantasy. And I have a friend who's white, and he like got a girlfriend who's like mixed or whatever. She's not even black. She's like mixed, and um he's like, man, this movie is awesome. He's seen this movie. He's like, dude, this is like one of my favorite movies. This movie's awesome, dude. And it's like, come on, bro. Because this is a white male incel fantasy, and you have a fucking mixed race girlfriend, like a quarter black or like a fucking half black girlfriend or whatever. Um, Anyway, I'm not even gonna get into that. I shouldn't even have brought that up, actually. I'm not gonna say names or anything. But anyway, movie starts off with them raiding an immigration facility and like allowing allowing all the immigrants to escape into the country in this immigration facility where they are keeping all the immigrants. And it's adventurous bullshit. They just like shoot off fireworks and shit. It's adventurous because they're breaking law. Or I'm not against like breaking law per se, but to break the law and do all this bullshit, and just for these immigrants to probably get rounded up and caught later because they're illegal immigrants. Um, and also they're probably gonna get in trouble because those the government is probably gonna severely punish those immigrants because they're gonna think that they had something to do with it. And also because when they escaped, they are now part of this, so they're probably gonna be in even more in a more fucked up situation. So it's adventurous bullshit that's only harming the immigrants by taking over this immigration facility and allowing for the immigrants to escape. It and also it doesn't actually challenge the system. It doesn't change anything. All it did was allow like 20, maybe like 50 immigrants to have like a few days of freedom just before they get rounded up again and then actually probably sent to jail, which is an even worse situation in prison because they escaped and were involved with this adventurous bullshit. So yeah, total libtard trash. And also while they're doing it, there's constant talk about like sucking dick and pussy this and pussy that. Um, she has a white there's a black female character. She has a white boyfriend, which is fucking middle-aged 50-year-old Leonardo DiCaprio, millionaire Leonardo DiCaprio, who has like mega yachts, has like three mega yachts. Um, Fetishizing and sexualizing black women for incel white boys. Um, Let me show you. I'm gonna show you guys later. I'm gonna show you guys some pictures of like Leonardo DiCaprio and his black girlfriend. Um, Care about wanting mass immigration because mass immigration helps the imperialist West. So here's the thing. In the whole movie about revolutionaries, not once did they mention class and the rich versus the poor. Not one time. The whole thing that like so it's like a little revolutionary group. I think they're called I forgot they're called the French 75, something like the French 75. That's our little group. That's the little name of the group. The one main issue of French 75 is that they're pro mass immigration. They're like, and also this is not during ICE. This is taking place in the early 2000s. This first part of the movie takes place in like the early 2000s or like late 90s or some shit. I'm pretty sure like early 2000s. Um And so it's like before ICE. And they're like, so of course, so like instead of real revolutionaries like us, we're pro class. And I'm going to get more about how immigration actually helps the imperialists and the capitalists in the West because I've explained this a number of times because one, it provides the capitalists and the elite with cheap labor because these immigrants, illegal immigrants come in, so they're willing to work for horrible pay and get treated like shit. So instead of paying a a citizen, an American legal citizen, actual good living legal wage, why would they do that when they can pay a bunch of illegal immigrants half that wage? That's why they want immigrants to come in. Even Trump, all these people that are act like they make it seem like they're anti-immigrants on the outside, but on the inside, they actually want mass immigration. The capitalist elite, they want mass immigration. This is why all these like pro-immigration leftists, I'm telling you, no, we should be pro stopping our government from fucking up their countries and putting sanctions on their countries. So then a lot of these immigrants wouldn't even want to come here in the first place. They're coming here because there are being sanctions put on their countries and their socialist leaders are being overthrown. So like what's happening in Venezuela, if this color revolution happens in Venezuela successfully, a bunch of immigrants are going to flood into America. It's going to cause more immigrants to come to America, which the capitalists want, which the imperialists want. That is actually one of the reasons why they are overthrowing Maduro in Venezuela. Why they're trying to take over Venezuela is because they want two of the most um important things for the West to expand. Two things, oil and labor. Because they have immigrants come in, like I said, they can use them as labor, as cheap labor. Um, and then two is also oil. And then three is to keep control of your domestic population. So they want to keep control of the American population. And the way they can do that is by having us be divided. And if they can have us divided, then then we can be weak and we'll never be able to overthrow them. And how they keep us divided is by importing immigrants, because then the working class blames immigrants instead of blaming who they should be blaming, which is the capitalist elite. That is why they want immigrants to come to the country. And that's why I tell people, no, I'm anti-mass immigration. I'm anti-mass immigration because I want the sovereignty of their own countries. And like Professor Jang, this guy named Professor Jang, who I'm going to show later, where he says these people actually leave their family and their country behind and come to America just to help America become richer and stronger by being used as a fucking wage slave when they're fucking selfish when they should be putting their time and money into bettering their own country. Don't just flee your country and give up. No, stay in Mexico, stay in Venezuela, stay in your own country and fight to make it better. Don't just give up on your family and your people and flee to America just to be a wage slave. It's fucking horrible, and all you're doing is helping the capitalists and helping the imperialists because that's what they want you to do. They want you to come to America, the capitalist leads. Okay, they care about wanting mass immigration because mass immigration helps the imperialist West. That's why he wrote them like that. That's why he wanted their main thing to be like, oh, immigration, because he's fucking trash, capitalist trash. At 9:07, at 9 minutes and 7 seconds of the movie, the black woman is like, okay, so it's like they this very start of the movie, they break into the immigration center, they let the immigrants flee, they beat up some of the immigration officers or whatever, and then they get into the car and then they drive off, and they're all hyped up. They're like, hell yeah, they like mission complete or whatever. And while they're in the car, Leonardo DiCaprio and his black girlfriend, his little fucking white cum dumpster, fucking little like, oh, I'm obsessed with white guys, pick me black girlfriend. They're making out in the car, like making out. They're like, hell yeah, we got them, and they're start tongue kissing and making out. And the black woman, I am forgetting her name, but she's Leonardo DiCaprio's girlfriend. She's like, "You like black girls?" While she's kissing fucking the white Leonardo DiCaprio, and starts making out with a white millionaire, 51-year-old Leonardo DiCaprio. It's absolutely disgusting garbage and completely making fun of revolutionaries. Leo goes, "Of course I like black girls. What do you think I'm doing here?" In his exact words. Um, one of the black characters is named Jungle Pussy. Like, come on. The black and one of the other black women characters, her name is Paul Thomas Anderson wrote in the script. Her name is Jungle Pussy. Tell me that's not racist, disgusting shit. And Paul Thomas Anderson is a white millionaire. It's disgusting. I don't know. I can't believe people just aren't fucking. This movie is disgusting. It's adventurous bullshit. I will give credit to PTA for calling out Paul Thomas Anderson for calling out and making fun of this weird fetishization of white men, fucking non-white oppressed women. Like all these like Latinas who like I wanna, especially when they're like so like, oh, we're revolutionary, we're anti-colonialism, we hate white men, and then they go turn around and fuck white men and they have a white boyfriend. All you girls who have white boyfriends who think you're so anti-colonialism and anti-imperialism are fucking retarded. And yeah, it's fucking disgusting. Date like anyone else, a black guy, a Mexican guy, uh, uh, any kind of Latin American. But no, you get a white boyfriend, you're not fucking truly anti-colonialist. Like, sit the fuck down. You're disgusting. And all these girls are like, pick me. I've even seen one girl crying over, she's like a socialist, whatever. And she was like, she made a video crying that like white men don't like her. You guys are fucking embarrassing. You're crying because not enough white men like you. Fucking get yourself together. It's fucking disgusting. Um, uh, so there's this one character, he's actually a great actor. I actually like him. He was a character in The Wire in the first season. He was like the kingpin boss in The Wire. He's a black character. And of course, the black revolutionary, he has a white girlfriend. That's totally fine. Let me explain to you why the difference between um men of color, non-white men having a white girlfriend, that's totally fine. But non-white women having a white boyfriend is disgusting and we should avoid this. I'm gonna tell you why. This is the key difference. Because like my mom is Sicilian, it's like honestly don't think Sicilians, like I don't really count them as European anyway, so I don't really think I'm white. But I'm just to give people, whatever, like if she is white, and then my dad's black and Mexican. So even if it's because like my dad is a man, so it's the thing is like um the imperialists and colonialists who came and oppressed black women and took or like in Latin America and Africa and the Middle East, these piece of shit disgusting European colonizers that would came and colonizing and take slaves and kill people and kill children and kill the men and then take the women to be raped and used as sex slaves. Guess what? These are all men doing that. That is a white man that would come to your city and take the indigenous or African women as sex slaves. So like let's say like I'm a non-white man, if I was to have a white girlfriend, that's fine because it wasn't men. Well, I mean, it wasn't women who were coming in and colonizing and raping. No, it wasn't women who were, yeah, it wasn't white women coming in and colonizing and raping. No, it was the white men. That's why you should women of color shouldn't have white boyfriends because it was the men who was doing that. Um, but here's the thing. They gave the black guy a white girlfriend. That would have been fine, right? But here's the problem. Of course, he gives the black revolutionary guy the white girlfriend, he gives him an ugly white girl. She's fucking hideous. Of course, the Leonardo DiCaprio, his black girlfriend is like a sexy, good-looking black woman. Okay, because he in these white incel fantasies guys, they're like, yeah, if my black girlfriend's gonna be hot, but like when you guys have a white girlfriend, uh she's gonna be ugly. You know what I mean? Like you can have our ugly white girls and like we're gonna come in, pillage, and take your fucking good-looking black women, good-looking indigenous women. So white men, when they come in and colonize and rape our indigenous women, they're gonna take the good-looking ones. And then it's like, oh yeah, you guys, it's okay. I'm okay with you dating our women as long as they're ugly. Fuck Paul Thomas Anderson. This movie is fucking colonialist, white incel, trash, fantasy bullshit. The only thing that's sadly, it is, some of it is sadly real because unfortunately there is a lot of pick me women who are obsessed with white men. And it's very disgusting and it's very sad. And it's very sad because they have self-hate because colonialism and imperialism and capitalism has uh it's mental colonialism. It's to where they're colonized in the mind, where their mind makes them hate themselves and think, oh no, I need a white boyfriend, I need a white husband, I need my kids to be mixed, I need my kids to be white. It's disgusting. It's self-hate. Fucking you don't need to stick to your, like, if you're a black woman, you don't need to stick to your race. You can date a guy who's not your race, but not a white guy. Like I said, date a Mexican guy. You know, date a fucking, even an Indian guy or a Mexican guy or an Asian guy. Date an Asian. Chinese are amazing. Date a Chinese guy. But no, it has to be a white guy. It's fucking disgusting. Pick me bullshit. Like Brianna Joy Gray said, and I'll show you some of her tweets in a second. It's like these black women are so, pick me, white man. Pick me. Dump your cum in me. Have sex with me. It's fucking disgusting. But yeah, of course, Paul Thomas Anderson gives the black revolutionary an ugly white girl. Um, and of course gives the white revolutionary a hot black girl. Total OnlyFans, oh, being a slut for the white man is so revolutionary. Yeah, no, it's OnlyFans liberal capitalist bullshit. Being a slut for the white man is not revolutionary, it's counter-revolutionary. It's fucking disgusting and degrading. Um, she ends up fucking the colonel, who was like this colonel guy who was like ahead of the ICE guy, the black revolutionary girl who is Leonardo DiCaprio's girlfriend. She ends up fucking the colonel, who, guess what, is white. The kid at the end, so they end up having a kid. The whole time, Leonardo DiCaprio and the black girl who are together, she gets pregnant. They have a kid together. The whole time it was actually the kid of the colonial. So she's fucking two white men in the movie, the colonel and Leonardo DiCaprio. Um, yeah, she fucks the colonel because they meet whenever she busts into the immigration center, and then later the black guy, I mean the colonel gets like really obsessed with her and like stalks her, and they end up meeting later, and he's like, okay, I'll let you do your revolutionary bullshit as long as you have sex with me. They end up having sex in a hotel room, and she ends up getting pregnant by him. It's not revealed till the end that the whole time the kid ends up being the colonel's kid, not Leonardo DiCaprio's kid. Um. She's drinking also while she's pregnant. The black woman character, revolutionary, the black revolutionary girl. While she's pregnant, she's drinking while pregnant, acting ghetto, making black women look bad. But think about this. This is Paul Thomas Anderson writing and directing these characters. He's purposely making black women look like shit, like bad mothers. She talks about how she's like jealous of her daughter because her pick me-ness about her white boyfriend Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio is like, she says like Leonardo DiCaprio gives too much attention to his daughter, and she's like, you're giving attention to another black girl that's not me. It's your own daughter, you nasty fucking bitch. Ugh. Unfortunately, there's some people that are like this in real life, but it doesn't mean you have to write a movie about it and exemplify and push it more in the culture, because there's probably going to be more black girls who watch this movie that are going to actually perpetuate this because they think it's cool or revolutionary. That's why so many people actually like this movie. It's disgusting. Um, Being jealous of her daughter, total sick weirdo shit. It's anti-family. She's like, you can't control me when Leonardo DiCaprio tries to stop her from going out in the middle of the night when she has a daughter to take care of. She like has this whole like I hate men thing, feminist bullshit. Um, it's a white man writing and depicting black women as ghetto. Piece of shit mother come dumpster for white men. At 22:50 part in the movie, the robbery scene, the black girl, there's one of the other people in the French 75, whatever the name is, in the revolutionary group. She's another black girl, revolutionary character. Her name is Jungle Pussy. Um, she hops onto a counter and they're robbing a bank. And she hops on the counter, more just adventurous bullshit. She hops onto a counter and she's like, but here's the thing. Stalin and them used to rob banks, but at that time it was different. Now there's cameras all around because here's the thing: after they rob the bank, they end up getting caught, and they all snitch on each other, and they all ended up getting murdered and going to jail. But yeah, that's adventurous bullshit. There's other ways to get money, more smart ways than just adventurous, quick bullshit. Um, but yeah, that's what I call bullshit. Back when you used to be able to get away with it in Russia and, pre-1917 revolution, when Stalin and his gangster ass friends are robbing banks to fund the revolution, that wasn't adventurous bullshit. Adventurous bullshit is doing stupid shit that's just going to fuck up your movement. Okay? When Stalin was robbing banks, he was helping the movement because you could actually get away with it at that time in that country. You cannot get away with robbing banks at this time. That's why it's adventurous bullshit. Um, if you were to actually plan it a lot more carefully, maybe you could get away with it, but you'd have to plan it more carefully. They were being stupid and didn't plan it. Like this robbery scene where Jungle Pussy, she hops on the counter, she takes off her mask for cameras to see, and she goes, "This is what Black Power looks like." While saying her name is Jungle Pussy, she hops on the counter. She's like, "I'm Jungle Pussy. This is what Black Power looks like." Okay. So, Paul Thomas Anderson wants to say black women and black power is degrading yourself by naming yourself Jungle Pussy and loving white men. It's disgusting. And it's completely making a joke of black revolutionaries. He's just completely shitting on black revolutionaries with this movie. They all get caught. Okay, so the robbing, the Leonardo DiCaprio's girlfriend, black woman, she kills a security guard in the robbery scene. It goes wrong. They're running from the cops. They end up getting caught, of course, because it's adventurous bullshit. And they all snitch on, and the black girl who was the white cum dumpster, pick me, obsessed with white men, girl, she snitches on all the revolutionaries because she doesn't want to go to jail. So it just shows that, like, it shows us black women as ghetto, irresponsible, unrevolutionary rats. It's disgusting. Um, so they all snitch on each other. So she doesn't go to jail. She's put in witness protection, and then they hunt down all the remaining revolutionaries. And either so she gets all her revolutionaries, all her friends and revolutionaries killed or imprisoned. Leonardo DiCaprio's character and a few other of the French 75 revolutionaries escape and are able to like change their names and like go to some like other country in like New Mexico or some shit. Oh, by the way, it's taking place in LA, so they like go to some like rural town or whatever to live like low key so that they don't go to jail or whatever. So now it skips forward 16 years. It's now like around like present day time. Um, the and now so okay, so also Leonardo DiCaprio took the baby with him. The baby that was him and the black girl's baby, which we end up finding out at the end is actually the colonel's baby. Anyway, um skip 16 years later, the girl is 16 years old. They're living in some like rural town or whatever. Leo's character is smoking weed and vaping. His daughter like cusses at him, and he's like, "I like the way you're standing up for yourself." It's just total fucking anti-family values, bullshit. The daughter has trans friends and like non-binary friends. Just total lib bullshit. And she's like telling her dad, it's like their name, it's they them. Get it right, dad. And she's supposed to be like the revolutionary. Like my friend that liked the movie, he was like, no, she's like a really. It's supposed to show that the girl character, the mixed girl character, she is like really, she's supposed to be. He said extremely competent, bro. Yeah, she's like a good revolutionary. She's extremely competent, bro. She doesn't do shit. And she has like she's like total lib. All she cares about is like she cares that her dad says they them to her friends. Like it's just lib bullshit. Of course, immigration is the main theme, not class war, because immigration is, the one left-wing issue that actually helps the imperialist West and capitalist class, like I explained earlier. They have a whole thing where they bring in, there's like this whole other group where Benicio del Toro, I think is his name. I don't know if that's exactly his name, I think like his brother is a director. I think I'm getting his name mixed up with his brother. So I don't remember, but it's this guy, Mexican guy, like Benicio del Toro, whatever his name is. He's a character in the movie. He's actually pretty cool, but he like runs this like network where like he houses these illegal immigrants. Um, and of course, that's a main plot of the movie. Like I said, it's like it's all about immigration. It's fucking stupid. They have a whole thing where they like bring in and house a bunch of immigrants in tiny rooms. Like they live like shit. They like have to piss in buckets and shit. What does that do? Why would you want them to live like that, working shitty jobs, contributing to the empire? Into the empire's economy when they'd have way better lives in Mexico. It's so stupid. So instead of living a dignified life in Mexico, helping your people, helping your country become better and contributing to your economy, no, they want to live. Literally, they had one room and there was like 50 of them crammed up in one room, sleeping on the floor. Why help them do that? I would tell them, dude, go back to Mexico. It's like they're acting like Mexico is this horrible hellhole that they're gonna get murdered in, and there's like demons that walk around and kill, and rape children or some shit. It's not Palestine, okay? Even the Palestinians have more dignity to stay on their homeland while they're getting fucking bombed. A lot of immigrants are fucking selfish. It's fucking bullshit. Stay in your own. Because here's the thing. I was born in America, but I honestly wish I was born in Mexico. If I was born in Mexico, I'd have free healthcare. I'd have way better quality of food and cheaper food. I'd have a way better quality of life. I'm actually planning on moving to Mexico, and everything's cheaper there. You have free healthcare. I'm gonna have a way better life when I finally uh, my life is so shit in America. It's actually, I don't know why immigrants come to this country. It's because they're brainwashed into thinking America is some paradise, but it's really not. But of course, like I said, America pushes this propaganda to these other countries, like, yeah, America's this paradise when it's not, because they want them they want them to get tricked into coming here. Um, but yeah, like America's actually so bad. I can't even afford to get enough money to move to Mexico. The moment I've been saving money though, the moment I finally do save up enough money to go to Mexico, I don't know. I'm either gonna go to Mexico, Venezuela, or China. I'm not sure yet. Whichever one is, I have to figure it out. But when I finally get enough money, I'm getting the fuck out of here because this country sucks for working class people. But yeah, why would you want to do that? Why would you want them to live like that, working these shitty jobs, contributing to the empire, when they'd have way better lives in Mexico? It's so stupid. Uh, put all that time, money, and effort into making Mexico better, so that no one would even get brainwashed into thinking the U.S. is this wonderland and want to come here. Also, there's not one mention of class war in the whole movie. Literally, the whole fucking movie. I was waiting for it. Not even a blip or a little side dialogue, a little whisper. Not one mention of class a war in the whole movie. um the revolutionary, quote unquote revolutionary thing is super vague and it's used more as like a trope. The one and basically only issue the revolutionaries are against, it's immigration. I did like the scene where he's on the resistance hotline, because like he's trying to get this rendezvous point, but can't remember the code, and he's yelling at the guy on the phone, and the guy on the phone says, you're violating my space right now. You're making me feel unsafe with noise triggers, like making fun of libs. That was a cool little nod to like make fun of stupid libs that Paul Thomas Anderson did there. That was kind of cool and funny. I did like how they made the quote unquote revolutionary black girl with the white boyfriend a fucking rat, because that's how they are in real life. That's how they would be. All these like, oh, I'm anti-colonialism. I'm a socialist, or I'm a communist. Black or Mexican girls, or like non-white girls who simultaneously date a white guy and his little pick me for some ugly white dude. Um, they all would be a rat, just like this girl in the movie. So I'm glad he made her a rat. I actually think it's like actually a good critique. It's funny because Paul Thomas Anderson actually gets one part right, where the Christmas Adventures, it's this elite rich group, this fake little rich group elite called the Christmas Adventures in the movie. They're like an elite rich group supposedly dedicated to white racial purity, and they supposedly wants to stop some of the anti-immigration raids. But here's the thing, they want to stop some of the anti-immigration raids because it's taking too many of his workers. So like literally they're saying like, man, we need to stop some of these immigration raids because one of the guys in the Christmas Adventure groups, he's like this, rich elite guy, and he owns these like factories, and he's like, man, all my workers that I pay a horrible wage to are being taken in these raids, and if I replace them with legal citizens, I will lose money. So, like I said, this was actually great because Paul Thomas Anderson is showing in the movie that the rich elite actually want immigration. Um, so yeah, it's funny because it's showing that I'm right about, the rich actually do they actually want mass immigration. Um, the movie ends with the dad and the daughter getting away somehow. Dad is smoking weed, playing on his iPhone on the couch at the end scene, and the daughter runs off. Oh, so she's like sitting there listening to the radio, and then like on the radio, uh, it's like some leftist radio, and it's like, oh, some random protest. It's like there's a protest in LA at 3:26. Everybody go. And then she runs off to this vague protest, which does nothing. These stupid little protests. It's probably like a pro-LGBT protest or some shit. So it was lib garbage bullshit, this movie. One battle after another, complete disgusting bullshit. Conclusion. So yeah, the difference between, like I said, the mixed race relationships where the guy is white rather than the girl is different because historically men were the ones doing the colonizing and raping of indigenous people, not the other way around. So it's different when the woman is white. That's okay. Okay. So, it's not because I'm a man and I'm saying that. And here's the thing, like, I'm not like even a huge fan of white girls or whatever. Like I've talked to white girls, of course. I've talked to every single race of girl there is. Okay. Just because, women happen to like me. I don't know why. They just do. Women happen to like me. But anyway, um, uh, I'm not saying that because I'm a man, because like I'm not, because like if I would get people being like, oh, he's just saying that because he wants to date white women, but he doesn't want his fellow non-white people to date white guys. No, I'd be totally cool with never touching a white woman again in my life. I'd be totally fine with that if it meant that other non-white girls would do the same with white men. Okay, I have no problem with that. But I do have to just admit that yes, it is different. Men and women are different physically, biologically, socially. They are different. Our brains are wired differently. We're evolutionarily wired different. It's just basic science and evolution. Men and women are different. And so, yeah, and historically it's different. So, yeah, it's different between men and women. Anyway, um, I'm about to show you guys. So here's a clip of where uh um Professor Jang of Predictive History, where he talks about how, mass immigration isn't good. You should stay in your own country and help build your community and your people and your nation. Let's see here.
The problem is, and I hate to say this, but immigration is not natural.
Immigration is not natural. I hope you guys are able to hear this. I'm not really good at the screen sharing thing. Usually my producer would do these things. But if you guys can, I provide the subtitles, so just also read it.
Okay, and what I mean by that is that if you're born into a community, what is natural is for you to
Exactly.
want to help this community grow and develop.
What is natural is you're born in a community, you want to help contribute to developing the community, not just say, "Oh, I'm a selfish piece of shit. Fuck you guys. I'm going to America to contribute to the fucked up capitalist West's economy and empire." No, immigrants are fucking selfish. Stay in your own country and let's help build the global South so that America doesn't have this domination where they can just do whatever they want and kill innocent children in the Middle East, kill innocent Palestinian children. So yeah, you immigrants, that a lot of these mass immigration, you guys actually play a huge role in why the West is so powerful and why they're able to kill innocent people.
You want to contribute to this community. What is not natural is for you to say, you know what, this community sucks, I'm gonna go find a new community. Because if everyone did that, then no communities could ever exist. Okay? So 99% of people, what their natural inclination.
Exactly. If everybody was a selfish piece of shit, then everybody would just leave their community and come to the West. And then the West would be a total dominating empire, you know what I mean? Which they would honestly probably love. They'd be fine with that. But no, there are some people that are strong. I'm going to stay in my community. I'm not just going to run away and go to the West. No, I'm going to stay in my community and help it grow. And I'm sorry, a lot of you like immigrants that watch my show are going to be upset about this, but it's real. And you know what we need to do? We're gonna say, because look, some of my grandparents and ancestors were immigrants, okay? And I'm still, and I would love to them to death, and maybe they just didn't know, because but now that you know, because I'm explaining it to you, now it's up to us to get together and leave and go back to our global South countries and fight to keep them stronger. That's why I love the global South. I want the global South to be strong, and I want the West to be weak because the West is evil.
To do is to want to work hard and make the community a better place. And that's what everyone should be doing. You're always going to have minority people, maybe 1%, 2%, who are sort of strange and that they have different ideas. And they're not going to be able to conform to the community, okay? And historically, these people have been killed by the communities. And so it's natural for them to get up and leave, okay? So, but that's only a small group of people. So what is natural is for people to want to just stay where they are because they love their neighbors, because they love their family, and they want to help their community get stronger and stronger.
Exactly. Fucking global media and the propaganda that the West is pushing in all these countries. And it's like, no, don't care about your nation and your people and your community and helping your family staying in your country and helping your country become better. No, it's all about your individual happiness. So come to America because you're gonna have a better life here. And most of the time they get to America and they're just living as some fucking immigrant in some little immigrant housing, treated like shit, living like shit. Fuck that. Have dignity. I would, even if uh, even if you have a better quality of life in America, which most immigrants don't, I'd still have a worse quality of life and have my dignity in my own country and say every time I get up and go to this job or whatever, and let's say I can make fucking 50 cents a day. I don't give a fuck. At least that 50 cents is contributing to the economy of my people. Instead of, oh, I make, $40 a day in America, and then that economy is contributing to the West and making the West stronger. So, like he said, fucking, run it back one more time because I need you guys to understand this, of what he's saying. Because also, I had this opinion. I felt like I was crazy seeing all these dumbass leftists, especially white people, like pro-mass immigration, pro-mass immigration. Um, and I'm like, fuck, what the, like, am I crazy for thinking this? Finally, I see someone else saying it, and this is great. But like you said, like okay, there could be like like less than 1% of people who are like natural explorers and like want to like have curiosity to go to other countries. That's fine, but that's the difference between like a few, like a little bit of immigration. That's fine, but this masses of immigration that are coming to the country. Also, why it's bad is a thing called brain drain, where most of the time is most of the immigrants that come to America are most college educated people who are like doctors, and these are the people who are the most able to help their community and help their country. But instead, they're a selfish piece of shit that just comes who just mass migrates to America, and they say, no, I want to work on white people. I want to help the white people. No, help your own people in your own country. Okay. If like the little 1% of people who can mass migrate, because they're like natural explorers and then they want to explore the West and then they can come back to China or whatever or India or Mexico or whatever and come back and then tell their people what it was like. That's awesome. That's great. You know what I mean? I'm like probably one of those people. But you people who come there just to live there forever and say, fuck my people, and like a lot of these people that are like, they'll come to America and then like they have self-hate. They're like, I hate China, I hate the CCP, or like people that like that are anti-Iran, the Iranian dysphoria. That's why the dysphoria is always fucking selfish piece of shit. And a lot of like the Venezuelan migrants, they're fucking like They're selfish pieces of shit, and they're always like, "I hate Maduro. I hate Venezuela." They always have a lot of self-hate. They're selfish, and they have self-hate. They hate themselves, and they hate their own people. They're like still suck on like sucking white people's dicks and hating their own race and their own people. They're like, "Fuck Venezuelans, fuck Maduro, fuck Venezuela. I want to bomb Venezuela." You know what I mean? Same thing with Cubans, like what they say, the Gusanos. You know what I mean?
And unfortunately, because of globalization, because of mass media, because of the internet, for whatever reason, young people believe that what's
Love your
important is their
family, love your
own
neighbors, love your
individual
people.
happiness,
Help your community
their
get
own
stronger and
economic
stronger.
opportunity. So I'm going to go wherever there's more economic opportunity. So, for example, Chinese students, the very best, are like, you know what, I'm probably gonna make more money in the United States, so I'm gonna work hard, then migrate to the United States, and then start my own company, get rich, and all that. And some people have been very successful doing that. But if you think about it, this is not good for China, right? As a nation, why would you encourage your best and brightest to take their skills, move somewhere else, and contribute to that economy rather than to your own economy?
Run that
And so
back.
we're in a very strange situation. And we are in this situation because for the longest time, America was a global hegemon and it could write the rules of the game. And I keep on telling you guys this, whatever writes the rules of the game will always win, okay? So globalization was a system was set up so that America
Like I said, this is what's called brain drain, where the breast people, instead of helping their own communities, they go to the United States and they help United States.
could extract from the world resources, and these resources
It's not good for
include
China.
talent. Okay, so we have a situation where the best and brightest go to America because that's where they're most likely to thrive.
Yeah, why take all your best and brightest and their skills and contribute to the fucked up imperialist, racist piece of shit West when you could be contributing to the socialist country of China? Contribute to China, contribute to helping your own people, not the West.
But now the world is changing. America is no longer the global hegemon. Russia, China, these countries are rising as well. And so nations now should be. They're more interested in being able to maintain their best and brightest, their talent, their human capital. And this is the way it should be. If you're born in China, then your priority ought to be like how to make China a better place. It shouldn't be like I'm gonna work really hard in school so that I can get a visa to go study in the United States. That makes no sense. Okay?
Also, this is amazing because this guy, his dad actually did immigrate from China to Canada, and he went to Yale. He was poor, and he worked really hard. He worked his way up and went to Yale. He moved to America and went to Yale, and then he went back to China to then teach in China. So he actually took his skills from America and then came back to China. And what I love about this guy is he's saying this as someone whose dad was an immigrant. So he's kind of talking shit on his own dad, but that's what's great is that people that they're not like, oh, I can't say this or think like this because I'm an immigrant. No, fuck that. I'm gonna have this opinion because this is what is right. This is what is the facts. This is what's real. You know what I mean? Like something like the fucking American Communist Party, fucking retards. A lot of those are immigrants, and they would never admit this because they can't admit this shit because they're an immigrant and they feel bad. They like it's like cognitive dissonance. It's like, and that's the thing. That's what I love about him is that he actually was an immigrant and he can self-critique. Actually, it's not his fault. His dad immigrated him there, but he's critiquing his own father, and that's what's great about this. Basically, is that he's not like you know, uh, not saying the truth because it's him and his family. You know what I mean?
So, and look, the reality is that if you're in the United States, you can make a lot of money, but you're still gonna be low status. Okay, and that's the situation I found myself in North America, where I worked really hard in school, I went to Yale, and I could have made a lot of money as a lawyer or as a doctor, but I recognized that, you know what, if I just stay where I am, I'm not gonna
Exactly.
ever achieve my potential. I'm not going to achieve status in America. I may be wealthy, but I'm never gonna achieve high status. That's why I chose to come to China, because I thought there were more opportunities to obtain higher status in China than in the United States, where I'm not white. I'm East Asian, and there's going to be a lot of stereotypes and prejudice against me because I'm East Asian. Okay?
Also, what's great about
And
this is I don't know if I have the timestamp, but somewhere in this, he also explains how like I love Professor J. He's a shit dude, and it's like I've studied all these same things like him, like dating, race, ancient history, and mixing it all together with geopolitics and shit. And it's crazy because I was like nobody else is doing this, right? I ended up discovering him like months ago, like maybe like I don't know how many months ago. And I was like, oh my God, he's also someone who studies ancient history and puts all this shit together. I was like, man, like I be studying shit that's so niche. It's like there's no one else that does this shit like me. And then when I found him, I was really excited because I was like, oh, I'm not the only one who does this. Sometimes I'd feel crazy connecting all these dots. And then I seen that he does it. And not only does he do it, he has thousands of people that agree with it and see what he's saying. And I'm like, okay. Now, sorry if I replayed this video so much because I just want you guys to understand it and to understand that I'm not just some crazy person. I'm not the only one who thinks this. Is also a very educated person who thinks this as well. But yeah, somewhere in this, he was talking about like the dating pool, and he talks about how like um Asian women fucking are obsessed with white guys. It's fucking disgusting. He doesn't say this. He's not like me. I will say it's fucking disgusting and call you out. He was being very polite about it. He didn't give a value statement to it. He just said the facts. He said because he used these dating analytics, these official dating analytics in America, in the US. And so it's like like white people prefer white people, and like the Asian women prefer white guys, and then like white women, but white women don't prefer Asian guys. And he's talking about how Asian men are at the bottom of the list in the social dating hierarchy. Like a lot of women and white women don't like Asian guys. And he was basically saying like, why as an Asian man would you come to America to be treated like shit? You're looked at as like a nerd and unmasculine. The white women there don't want to be with you. So he's like, why do this to ourselves? So it's like the white women there don't want to be with you. You're gonna bring your wife there, and then you have daughter there. So it's like the white men are gonna take your Asian women, and you're not going to be able to have any of their women. It's like, why do that? You know what I mean? So basically, he's saying like, stay in China. If you are going to come to America, don't assimilate. Stick together. Quit have this thing where like all these Asian girls like, oh, I want to have a white boyfriend. He's even saying like Asian men, fuck that. Talk about like, don't care so much having a white like us Chinese people. We shouldn't care so much about having a white partner. We should stick together if we want to defeat the Western white imperialists. Um, he's basically saying if we want to succeed as a people against the white Western imperialist world, non-white women need to quit obsessing over and disproportionately getting with white guys. Um, damn, do I not?
immigration.
Damn, I guess Um, I don't have the timestamp when he says this, but yeah, go watch this or watch this whole thing yourself. And somewhere in it, he talks about this, and how like he's saying us Chinese people, if we want to succeed, or basically any minority group, if we want to succeed, we need to stick together. Quit trying to obsess over having white boyfriends and shit. It's fucking disgusting. I'm saying it's disgusting. He doesn't because he's more professional and nice about it. I'm gonna be real with you. It's self-hate and it's sad. You are a sad, self-hating person. And you're a pick me if you are like, I need a white boyfriend. I need a white boyfriend. He's someone in the comments. Um, okay. Anyway, uh, no, I thought maybe someone in the comments had a good time mark where he talked about this, but they don't. And yeah, I don't have a time. I didn't find a timestamp. I'm not going to go through this whole video and waste time on this episode looking for it. So yeah, watch it yourself and he'll say that. I did have the timestamp where he's talking about immigration, and why mass immigration isn't good. You should stay and help build your own country and your own community. Um, so yeah, that's it. That's it for one battle after another review. And also this immigration thing. Let's stop sharing. Back to mention. So yeah, that's it. Basically, a big part of the my critique of the review of one battle after another is the pick me black girls like with her white boyfriend and shit. And I went and that's why I was showing that video about mass immigration. Also, my biggest thing was that, and then also the mass immigration part of one battle after another, where like the whole thing the revolutionaries care about is immigration. That's it. So uh in that video, in that lecture by Predictive History YouTube channel, um that is like a great uh sister uh lecture of like my lecture of in this episode, um companion piece for this episode, because he talks exactly what I'm saying about how people should stick together. You shouldn't be so obsessed with trying to date a white guy, if you're, you know, Chinese woman, and or any in my opinion any non-white woman. And yeah, and like a lot of Indian girls too are like so upset because they have a bad self-hate, and like they hate their brown skin. They want to be white so bad. They want a white boyfriend so bad. It's disgusting and really sad. I even seen a video the other day of an Indian girl crying because she said white men don't like her enough. You guys are fucking really sad. It's fucking no, not you guys. I bet none of you watch. I hope not. Or I don't know. I hope actually some of you do watch this, and I hope you realize how disgusting it is to be a pick me for a white guy. Colonial, fucking piece, colonial people, colonizers. You're fucking colonizers. Anyway, have self-respect and date a Mexican guy, or fucking, you know, a Chinese guy, fucking, or you know, African guy or a black guy, anything else. Jesus Christ. But yeah, that basically concludes it. I think that concludes this episode. I've been going for a while now. I don't know how long I've been going, but yeah, there was this movie called Eddington, which I think it came out not too long before One Battle After Another. I think it came out before it, and not too long before it. Um, it's by the same guy who made Hereditary, which is an amazing movie. Hereditary was like one of my favorite horror movies. I don't really like horror movies, but that was a fucking good horror movie, Hereditary. Um, and he made Eddington, and at least like that was better because like they're like both movies, One Battle After Another and Eddington, they're both making fun of American politics, but at least Eddington isn't making fun and mocking revolutionaries. You know what I mean? Uh, so like Asada Shakur, that's another thing I want to get to. Oh yeah, so it's another thing. So, one the pick me white woman who's a rat, her character was Paul Thomas Anderson admitted this that her character was based off of Ashada Shakur, an actual good, strong black woman who's not a pick me girl, uh, fucking for white men. Okay, she never dated a white man. She would never date a white man, and she escaped to Cuba by breaking out of prison. She's badass. She's a real revolutionary. And she never ratted on her people. She's strong. To even associate this disgusting pick me cum dumpster for white men character was it Ashada Shakur is a fucking disgusting piece of fucking shit that you would even have Ashada Shakur's name in your fucking mouth. Paul Thomas Anderson, get her name out of your fucking mouth. It's fucking disgusting. And like the Rihanna Taylor or whatever the fuck her name is that played this fucking disgusting character, you're fucking disgusting too. And because she also said that she based her character off of Asada Shakur. And right now I'm about to show you guys some tweets of talking about the movie bookmarks. Um, so, um, yeah, some one battle after another, uh, tweets I have for you guys here. Latina feminists online, Latina feminists in real life. It's fucking disgusting. Um, The pregnancy, killing of the security guard, and the fugitive status, all three are mistreated by the movie, portraying Perfi. Oh, that's her name. The pick me. for the white man, cum dumpster for white man, disgusting rat character who is the black revolutionary who is the girlfriend of Leonardo DiCaprio in the movie. Her name is Perfida. Um, Portraying Perfida as abandoning her child is insidious given Asada's actual decisions as a writer, as this writer wonderfully points out. Okay, so in the middle of the bank heist scene to fund the revolution, Perfida kills a black security guard who refuses to follow her orders. But Asada was wrongfully convicted of killing a cop. Perfida ratted out her comrades to escape prison and wound up getting most of her closest comrades killed, including Jungle Pussy, Loretta, and Ham's character, who was graphically shot in the head while trying to escape the police capture. But Asada never told who or how her Black Liberation Army comrades spirited her away from a U.S. prison cell into the safety of Cuba for the past 46 years until her death at 78 last week. Perfida abandoned her daughter before she was even arrested, but while the police state did everything in their power to make her miscarry, Asada actively chose motherhood in prison. And all these women that are like pro-feminist, anti-men, anti-having kids, Asada Shakur is a real strong black woman revolutionary and a power of motherhood. Women are literally gods. Like Mao said, women hold up half the sky. Women are literally gods. They create life on this earth. I love women. Okay? And Asada Shakur chooses mother. It's like women are literally gods. They bring life into this world. And the capitalist elite pushes this feminist shit on the women to try to make women not want to do their ones, like one of the main superpowers they have, which is giving birth, giving life, bringing life into this universe. That's why women were celebrated as goddesses in ancient religion. Okay, before the Abrahamistic war the thunder male sky god took over um from the steppe people migrated the Indo-European migration. Um but yeah, before that and before the Abrahamic religions took over, women were celebrated and revered as goddesses. Okay, and a lot of female goddesses were worshipped. Okay, because women give birth, they give life to this world, and they want to make young women not want to do one of their superpowers. It's sad. And okay, in Asada, an autobiography, she wrote about why she made that choice. She said, "I'm about life." I said to myself, "I'm gonna live as hard as I can and as full as I can until I die. And I'm not letting these parasites, these oppressors, these greedy racist swine make me kill my children in my mind before they are even born." That's what these people, these parasites, oppressors are making you, these all you girls that think, oh no, I'm gonna go against the patriarchy and not have kids. They're making you kill your own children in your mind before they're even born. I'm going to live and I'm going to love Kamu. I think that's their child's name. And if a child Oh, okay. Kamu is her I think her boyfriend, which obviously is not a white guy. She's not a fucking pick me for a white man. Disgusting. Fucking she's a strong black woman. I'm going to love Kamu. And if a child comes from that union, I'm going to rejoice because our children are our future. And I believe in the future and in the strength and righteous and the rightness of our struggle. God damn, my fucking Asada Sakura is fucking amazing. She was a beautiful soul. Asada named her child Katuya Amaya Alu blah Shakur. I pronounced that horribly, I'm sorry, which means hope for the future. She birthed into a hateful world a baby that came from love, of black people, of liberation, of Kamu and herself. Che Guevara once said, at the risk of seeming ridiculous, let me say that the true revolutionary is guided by a great feeling of love. It is impossible to think of a genuine revolutionary lacking this quality. There is no love in Perfida Beverly Hills. That's the character also of Leonardo DiCaprio's girlfriend. Come down, white comes down. There is no love in Perfida. There is sex. There is power. There is chaos, but there is no love. A loveless revolutionary is just a terrorist. Exactly, just adventurous bullshit. Here's my girl, Brianna Joy Gray. Um, Here's someone saying, I feel like people are being dishonest about the critique around one battle after another. White people turning black female characters into caricatures and stereotypes is worth a discussion. No one is saying complex characters can't exist, but it's a repetitive problem when rep keeps recycling these tropes. Okay. Anna Kasparian and Brown Joy Gray said Anna Kasparian had to apologize for rubbing her hands together like Mr. Burns because it was Jewish stereotype. But Paul Thomas Anderson has Jungle Pussy prancing on a bank counter shouting, I am Black Power, while Pick Me Perfida, that's awesome, Brown Joy Gray. I need to have her on the pod. While Pick Me Perfida is asking, do you like black girls? And we can't even have a conversation about the character choices without being shouted down by a stubbly 35-year-old Oblern grad. Fuck yeah, dude. Um, um, Not only is Brandro get vindicated for her mocking radical take, turns out even I'm right for going so far as to say Perfida is direct disrespect to Asada. Because would you look at this shit? Okay, Taylor gives a remarkable performance. So yeah, the woman who plays Perfida, she gives a in this Radio Times it says Taylor gives a remarkable performance as the feisty, unpredictable revolutionary. Fuck you. And she also turned to some real historical figures when she was working out how to get under the skin of the character. Quote, I kind of feel like it was a full circle moment, she explained, because one of my favorite books is Asada, the autobiography of the Black Liberation Army activist Asada Shakur. And when me and Paul were discussing Perfida, that was one of the books that was also on his table. So not only her, like I said earlier, the director Paul Thomas Anderson and the character, I can't believe this woman would even take this role. It's disgusting, but she's just some dumbass, so she doesn't care. She probably made millions of dollars playing this role. She doesn't give a fuck. Um, but it's sad that our black people, our black celebrities would take this money to prance around and be a white cum dumpster, a cum dumpster for white men and white male fantasy instead of being But anyway, her and the fucking director both said that the real Asada Shakur was inspiration. So that's very disrespectful to the amazing Asada Shakur. Um, yeah, these protests are about bringing OnlyFans in Israel to Iranian women. That's it. They can already uncover their hair. All right, yeah. Oh yeah, here's a scene. I don't know if this is gonna get copyrighted or whatever. But yeah, here's where she's like on the table. This is Jungle Pussy. She's like, my name is Jungle Pussy. This is what power looks like. See my face? This is some set it off shit. I am what black power looks like. It's disgusting, dude. All right. That is enough of that. How do I fucking... All right. So yeah, that was enough of that. All right, so yeah, this is the one battle after another review. Also updating on what happening in Venezuela and in Iran, and updating what happened with my Instagram account. I really need you guys right now. So I'm in a really low moment with my Instagram account being banned, and I've actually been really depressed about it. If you guys know how I can get it back, that'd be the best case scenario. But if not, if I can't get it back, then I just really, really need your guys' help. I've always needed your guys' help, but right now I really need you guys to really shout me out. If you could become a patron on patreon.com/realcoolgang, all the links in the bio. Buy me a coffee is in the bio. Oh, yeah, you guys who physically support me with buy me a coffee, who give donations to buy me a coffee or become patrons. You guys are the only reason why I still do this shit. This shit is so hard as a working class person that has to have a job to survive while also trying to do my career as a geopolitical analyst and independent journalist. It's almost impossible. I mean, most people that have my life, when I get home from my working class job and when other people get home, they can't do what I do. I mean, I never have fun. I never am able to go on dates or live a life as a 23-year-old and have fun because I constantly dedicate my life to my work. If I was richer and I came from a rich family that was able to support me, then I would be able to have fun and enjoy my life while also doing my career. But I can't. I dedicate my life to this. to building this movement with you guys and informing you guys and informing us and doing my career because I believe in this shit and I believe the more people I inform and the more people I can get on my side by putting this shit out there, the better the world will be. And one day we can end all this oppression and fucked up shit. So yeah, to recap, we talked about capture of Maduro with Venezuela, talked about Iran protests, we talked about my Instagram being banned, and the review of one battle after another. Um and a little bit of Syria with the real Java stuff. But yeah, this is one battle after another review. I think I'm gonna be title this episode, like I said earlier, one libtard. So I was thinking maybe like one libtard coup after another, but I was like, with Venezuela and like Iran, like they're not really like coups yet. So like, one libtard like color revolution after another, but like they're not really successful. Or like I don't want to say that'd be like too many words in the title. Try to keep it shorter. Like too many words would be like one one libtard one failed libtard color revolution after another. That's like a little too long. But anyway, like one libtard color revolution after another. I think that's a pretty good title. Anyway, yeah. Um, I think this after this, I'm gonna live stream. I don't know though. I want to start making like documentaries and shit like I explained in the last episode. But yeah, like I said, I really need you guys right now. If you can spare anything on Buy Me a Coffee or become a patron. I also need you guys to like this, comment, share it. Please go to my Twitter, go to all my links on my link tree. And on every single thing, my Twitter, my YouTube, Substack, subscribe to all of them. Go through and like everything. Go through and comment on everything. It doesn't cost anything to do that. Go and share and repost everything. I really need you guys right now. So like if I need your guys' love and support, like honestly, like when shit like this with Instagram happening, like I'm not gonna let it stop me. I'll always try to fight. But like, you have those bad thoughts in the back of your head where it's like, man, should I just give up? Like all that time and effort just gone. Like literally one day I just woke up and my Instagram was gone. I mean, it was fucking heartbreaking, dude. All that time and effort and all my contacts and shit gone over years of work. Like the last 2 years of putting in work gone in an instant. And so I really need your guys' fucking support right now, desperately. So, if you like what I do and you want me to keep going, I need you guys right now, desperately. Um, I really, and of course, I owe everything to you guys that have been supporting me already. And I need you guys to support me even stronger right now. If you haven't really even been supporting me that much, but you like what I do, I really need you guys to kick in that support right now. Like, I usually don't always like really beg and beg you guys. I just let you know that, hey, I do need help and I give you the avenues to help. Right now, I'm on my hands and knees because with my Instagram getting banned, like, man, I am really at a very low right now. I am on my hands and knees begging you guys. I need the fucking help. I need all the help I can get. So contact me if you want to help me try to get the Instagram back or anything that we can do. Look into it for me. If you guys know anybody at Meta that can help get Instagram back. But yeah, if you could just contact me, through Twitter, probably is the best way to contact me. Go into my link tree. If you go on my link tree, you can go through Patreon, I mean X or Substack, and find a way to message me on any of those. Or like buy me a coffee. You can send a note on there or whatever. And you can get in contact with me pretty easily. Um, or even like commenting on here or something, like you can contact me pretty easily. Just even like words of encouragement and that you guys are listening and you guys are here and I'm not just talking into a void, what I mean, would help and would be amazing. So I really need your guys' support in anything I can get. So I appreciate it. Um, we're about to log off or we're about to get off here and stop this episode. That's the conclusion. Um, you guys will see me. I think either next episode will either be a live stream or I don't know, but I'm gonna start putting out like an episode every week. Every week, maybe even multiple episodes a week. So get ready for that. And also I'm gonna be putting out some documentaries on the YouTube, so get ready for that. I really appreciate you guys. Uh, peace. I love you guys. Peace.